army were saying in Niger, that their own president was telling them not to go after the terrorists. Who does that? It therefore tells you that the West know what they're doing. They're promoting some of these people. I remember what Museveni said. I saw the video, so it's not like a second-hand story, where he talked about 6 African presidents. He didn't go, but he sent one of his ministers. They were going to Libya to broker peace. And they got a call from NATO saying what? Go back to where you're coming from. 6 presidents of independent African countries, and you're...
Nigeria, you can't be saying that is a big brother, that you're going to be putting Niger in sanctions and they're going to be cutting off their electricity because they're an illegitimate government. We know this rubbish by now, Honorable President of Nigeria. You're still struggling to get recognized yourself. So don't make it more complicated. We know who won the elections and we know who is in power. Now you get up on air and begin to talk like, hey, this is a compromise of democracy.
Will Peter Obi handle things different? Will Atiku handle things different to what we are witnessing now in Nigeria as to regards of fuel subsidy, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been sued to court to explain how he spent the removal of subsidy, the money that was removed, how he was able to spend it within the last 2 months. Would have Peter Obi and Atiku handle the issue of Niger, or would have been cool in Niger if Peter Obi or Atiku was declared the winner of the presidential election in Nigeria on the 25th of February 2023? Welcome to Elite TV, and this is Politics on the Wheel with Gerald, the Sunday edition. So now, it is no longer news that there is coup in Niger. So now, I'm not going to talk much. I would like you to watch this 4 to 5, 6 minutes clip that I'm going to play for you of how the situation would have been handled differently if only Tinubu was not announced as the president. How if Tinubu was not the president of Nigeria, there wouldn't have been coup in Niger. Do you believe that? We'll take it to the comment section and have the argument over there. I remain Jail, and here is the 4-minute clip from Arise TV. Credit to them for this particular video clip. I'm bringing it to you for you to have an understanding of what happened. So let's watch together and see the analysis. I mean, how things would have been handled different. This is Dr. Victor, an African policy analyst. So let's watch.
ECOWAS spoke too quickly. The AU is there and has been more circumspect in the way it's looking and dealing with the matter. But I can understand why ECOWAS behaved the way it did, because the coup poses an existential threat to the current democratically elected leaders, you know, in ECOWAS. Some of them feel if that succeeds, they might be next. I don't know, there's an infographic I sent. I don't know if it's ready yet. I would have liked to just explain something to us, you know, something to do. If you look across Africa right now, when it comes, I'll speak to it, but if you look at the continent right now, it's been divided effectively into 2 by what? Military, if you like, military hunters across the continent, from what you call it now, Guinea, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad, and Sudan. That's it.
Yes.
If you see the red, you know, the red that you see there, these are all military regimes. Africa has been divided into 2. You think it's an accident? Something is going on. What is happening here is that Africa has become the battlefield of the world powers right now. And because Africa remains the richest resource ground for the world economy, you know, everybody is fighting for the heart and soul of the continent. Like what's happening in Niger right now. The EU have said they have enough uranium to last for a little while, but when that runs out, some industries are going to collapse in those places. Okay? So what is happening basically is Russia, I find this very interesting. You know, whereas what is happening, you know, they're good chess players, and so they are masters at this game. We're looking at the war in Ukraine. You know that when Wagner, it was as if they were rebelling against Putin, and they suddenly wondered, so what happened? We got food. They wanted to use that to enter somewhere, and they did. Don't be fooled. The Russians know the game that they are playing. Except that the way they are playing is in consultation with the rest of Africa. Remember, they wiped out debts of how many billions? I can't even remember the figure. Is it $23 billion?
Let's look up those numbers now. But
yeah,
I did
please,
hear
just so that I don't give the wrong figures. But billions of dollars wiped away. So they're not just talking, they're walking the talk. Okay? Along with China, you can see what they're doing. What has been happening is the Western powers we've respected all this while, all well and good, they're great and all that, but they have been, you know, exploitative in their relationship with Africa. There has been no respect for Africans, you know, and for the first time, Africans are beginning to deal with people who show them a little bit of respect, although they may also be exploiting, but the relationship is more like we sit on the table together, not like a master and a servant. Now, the West does not like this, but Russia and China, who are great allies, whether we see it or not, China may be talking with US and all that, but the truth is the alliance with Russia still remains the same. The communism that kept them together is that same thread that keeps them till tomorrow. Now, so what you see is a situation where it is NATO on the one hand versus what you call it now, Russia and China. China is just in the background where they supply, they're there just giving all the necessary backup. So what Russia is doing right now is backing up, you know, this military to take over. You remember, and what we need to be careful about again, you see, Wagner came into some of these countries, and people thought, I mean, when the West were pushing, they were sponsoring terrorism. From what I said to you earlier on, what happened in what the army were saying in Niger, that their own president was telling them not to go after the terrorists. Who does that? It therefore tells you that the West know what they're doing. They're promoting some of these people. I remember what Museveni said. I saw the video, so it's not like a second-hand story, where he talked about 6 African presidents. He didn't go, but he sent one of his ministers. They were going to Libya to broker peace, and they got a call from NATO saying what? Go back to where you're coming from. 6 presidents of independent African countries, and you're ordering them back. Who does that? And where is Libya today? So you can see that the things that have been happening have not really been in our best interest. You know, for so long, the West has done what it has done, but a few more people are getting wiser. And let me tell you how they recruit some of their people as well. Some of these people, whether from the side of the West or Russia and the rest, when we send our military to go for training, whether it's in Sandoz, it's in Russia, or wherever, these guys get indoctrinated.